Welcome back to another ASMR video. We're back with another impressions video. The last one did really well and got a lot of support, and that's really encouraging, and I guess it just makes me happy to think that something that I made can be enjoyed by people and bring them a little bit of happiness, even if it's only in a small kind of dumb way. But yeah, we're back, and now it's Halloween themed. Happy Halloween. I love Halloween. So today we're doing some horror movie voice impressions and reading some scripts from horror movies. Alright, so the first one that we're going to be doing today is Patrick Bateman's voice from American Psycho, one of my favorite horror films. I guess we're counting it as a horror film today. I would argue that it's horror comedy, satire. It's great. If you haven't seen it, it's very violent and vulgar, but it is so funny and has some amazing performances. Patrick Bateman, played by Christian Bale, he talks like he constantly is so much smarter than you, and it is hilarious. So he's always up here. He talks with a very soft and smooth tone, as if he always knows what he's gonna say next, and like whatever he has to say really matters. Okay, let's we're gonna read the opening voiceover that happens in his apartment. It's like a voiceover as we see his beautiful white pristine apartment. I believe in taking care of myself, in a balanced diet, in a rigorous exercise routine. In the morning, if my face is a little puffy, I'll put on an ice pack while doing my stomach crunches. I can do 1,000 now. I love that line. I think it's so funny. Then the voiceover keeps going. After I remove the ice pack, I use a deep pore cleansing lotion in the shower. I use a water-activated gel cleanser, then a honey gel scrub, and on the face, an exfoliating gel scrub. Then I apply an herb mint facial mask, which I leave on for 10 minutes while I prepare the rest of my routine. And this whole time we see him be absolutely aesthetic physique, peak Christian Bale, handsome MF. I always use an aftershave lotion with little or no alcohol, because alcohol dries out your face and makes you look older. Then moisturizer, then an anti-aging eye balm, followed by a final moisturizing protective lotion. There is an idea of a Patrick Bateman, some kind of abstraction, but there is no real me, only an entity, something illusory. And though I can hide my cold gaze, and you can shake my hand and feel flesh gripping yours, and maybe you can even sense our lifestyles are probably comparable, I am simply not there. That's really good summary of good old Patrick Bateman, good old P. Bates. Oh yeah, actually I missed a part at the beginning. He starts by saying, "My name is Patrick Bateman. I'm 27 years old. I live in the American Garden buildings on West 81st Street on the 11th floor. Tom Cruise lives in my penthouse." Or the penthouse. They don't live together. They're not roommates. Now that would be an insane story. American Psycho, but he lives with Tom Cruise. In the script, the lines are more with what the book, how the book was written, and it kind of changes in the final cut of the film. But it's always kind of interesting to see how the differences happen there. We're also going to be reading one of the most iconic scenes from this film, I can't remember what they're called, the business card scene. It's super hilarious. In this scene, Patrick is sitting around a bunch of his coworkers, and they all start showing off their business cards. Starts off with Patrick. He pulls out his business card. He shows everyone. "New card. What do you think?" "Whoa, very nice. Take a look." And then he hands it to the other guy, Van Patten. And Patrick says, picked them up from the printers yesterday. Other guy says, good coloring. That's bone. And the lettering is something called Cillian Rail. And then everyone else is like super impressed. And Van Patten goes, it's very cool, Bateman, but that's nothing. And then he pulls out his own card. He has it in like a fancy case. Look at this. Everyone's like, oh wow, that's really nice. Then Van Patten's like, eggshell with Romalian type. What do you think? And Patrick, he's just like very visibly shaken by how nice it is, and he goes, nice. And then this other guy, Price, he goes, Jesus, that is really super. How did a nitwit like you get so tasteful? And then Patrick is so upset by this comment from him, and he goes, in his voiceover, he goes, I can't believe that he prefers Van Patten's card to mine. And like, I love how petty he is. He's so baby girl. Then Price goes, but wait, you haven't seen nothing yet. And he pulls out his own card. Raised lettering, pale nimbus white. Bateman goes, impressive, very nice. Let's see Paul Allen's card. And then Paul Allen pulls out his card. And this is in Patrick's voiceover in his head. He like takes it and he's looking at it, and he goes, he's like entranced by it. And he goes, look at that subtle off-white coloring, the tasteful thickness of it. Oh my God, it even has a watermark. And he is like blown away by how nice this is. And he's holding it and he drops it, and he goes, he clenches his fist, and the guy next to him goes, Patrick, are you alright? You're sweating. Like, he's so concerned for him. It cracks me up every time. So good. Alright, let's move on to the next one. Alright, the next one that we're going to be doing is Dr. Hannibal Lecter from Silence of the Lambs. Iconic character from an iconic movie. Here's a picture of the guy. You know, he's famous for having the mask that covers his mouth because he's a cannibal. Rhymes with Hannibal. Really on the nose there. Yeah, but he is so cool. His voice, he has a bit of like a transatlantic type of accent, and he's kind of nasally. He's a bit up here. Hello, Clarice. That's actually how he answers the phone at the end of the movie, and not how he greets Clarice in the opening scene, which is often misquoted. Yeah, but whatever, that's me nerding out. Let's go into the scene. This scene is Clarice, the main character of the movie, is trying to get Dr. Lecter's help with getting into the psyche of this other serial killer named Buffalo Bill. And so he's locked up in jail, Dr. Lecter is, and Clarice comes down to like ask him for help. So we open with Dr. Lecter going, Jack Crawford must be very busy indeed if he's recruiting help from the student body. Busy hunting that new one, Buffalo Bill. Such a naughty boy. Did Crawford send you to ask for my advice on him? And Clarice, she has like a southern accent, very soft voice. She has a really nice voice. Yeah. No, I came because we need. How many women has he used, our Bill? 5 so far. All flayed. Partially, yes. But doctor, that's an active case. I'm not involved. Do you know why he's called Buffalo Bill? Tell me. The newspapers won't say. If I tell you, you'll look at this form. It started as a bad joke in Kansas City homicide. They said this one likes to skin his humps. Witless and misleading. Why do you think he takes their skins, Officer Starling? Thrill me with your wisdom. It excites him. Most serial killers keep some sort of trophies. I didn't. No, you ate yours. And he kind of smiles. It's like, oh man, this girl's witty. But then Dr. Lecter, he goes big brain psychologist mode on her. And he goes, you're so ambitious, aren't you? You know what you look like to me with your good bag and your cheap shoes? He's roasting her fit, bro. Damn. You look like a rube. A well-scrubbed, hustling rube with a little taste. Good nutrition has given you some length of bone, but you're not more than one generation from poor white trash, are you, Officer Starling? That accent you're trying so desperately to shed. Pure West Virginia. What was your father, dear? Was he a coal miner? Did he stink of the lamp? And oh, how quickly the boys found you. All those tedious, sticky fumblings in the back seats of cars while you could only dream of getting out. Getting anywhere, yes? Getting all the way to the FBI. And Clarice, this very clearly struck a nerve with her. And she goes, you see a lot, Dr. Lecter. Are you strong enough to point that high-powered perception at yourself? How about it? Look at yourself and write down the truth. Or maybe you're afraid to. You're a tough one, aren't you? Reasonably so, yes. And you'd hate to think you were common. My, wouldn't that sting? Well, you're far from a common officer, Starling. All you have is the fear of it. Now, please excuse me. Good day. And the questionnaire? And then he goes, this is like the most iconic bit from the movie. A census taker once tried to test me. I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti. Yeah, he does that. He's such a creep, dude. I love him. He's played so well by Anthony Hopkins. Man, the GOAT, truly. And then he goes, taunting her, fly back to school, little starling. Fly, fly, fly. Yeah, great scene. What a great way to introduce this freakazoid of a character. So good. If you haven't seen that movie, it's like legit amazing. Like one of the best out there. I think it's like one of the only horror films to win an Oscar for Best Picture. I think it won Best Picture. If that's wrong, I will put up a little thing saying that I'm wrong, you shouldn't listen to me. But I'm pretty sure I'm right. Okay, let's move on to the next impression that we're doing tonight. Alright, the next one that we're doing is Jack Torrance from The Shining, played by Jack Nicholson. Jack Nicholson, also iconic actor. His voice that he uses for Jack Torrance is pretty creepy, but it's also just kind of how he sounds normally. So Jack Nicholson, he's very breathy and very gruff, but also a bit nasally. He's up here, and he always has these like crazy eyebrows going, and he also has a receding hairline. So he looks kind of like this. Yeah. But so in this scene, the scene that we're going to be reading from today is when Jack, who's a recovering alcoholic, he is in this, I mean, you guys know the plot of The Shining, and if you don't, do yourself a favor and watch the movie. It's great. But he shows up to the bar, and it's empty, and he is itching for a drink. He's had a very rough day. He's been locked up in this hotel, snowed in with just his wife and son, and he's going crazy. He walks up to this empty bar, and he's like, puts his hands on his face and goes, God, I'll give anything for a drink. My goddamn soul, just a glass of beer. And then he drops his hands and he looks at the bar, and now the bar is a full liquor cabinet. Is beautiful, and there's this fancy, well-dressed bartender standing there. And Jack goes, "Hi, Lloyd." And Lloyd, he's just this super chill dude. He goes, Or Jack goes, little slow tonight, isn't it? And Lloyd says, yes, it is, Mr. Torrance. What'll it be? And Jack goes, now I'm awfully glad you asked me that, Lloyd, because I just happen to have 2 20s and 2 10s right here in my wallet. I was afraid they were going to be in there till next April. So here's what's going to happen next. You slip me a bottle of bourbon, a glass, and some ice. You can do that now, can't you, Lloyd? You're not too busy, are you? No, sir, I'm not busy at all. Good man. You set them up and I'll knock them down one by one, Lloyd. And we cut to Jack still sitting there. Now he's like got some drinks flowing and he takes that sip and it looks like it is the best thing that he has ever had the pleasure of washing down his throat. I don't know. Like, insane. This is like a pretty rough moment because now like we're not sure at this point in the film. Is like, is he actually drinking, or is he going crazy and he's imagining that he's drinking, or is there some supernatural stuff and a ghost just actually poured him some ghost liquor? I don't know. And then Jack pulls out his wallet to pay for the drinks, and he goes, say, Lloyd, it seems I'm temporarily light. How's my credit in this joint anyway? Turns out his wallet's actually empty. And Lloyd says, your credit's fine, Mr. Torrance. That's swell. I like you, Lloyd. I've always liked you. You're always the best of them. Like who is he? What are you talking about, Jack? You barely met Lloyd. Why are you talking like you've been known him? Best goddamn bartender from Timbuktu to Portland, Maine. Portland, Oregon, for that matter. Thank you for saying so. Here's to 5 miserable months on the wagon and all that irreparable harm that it's caused me. And he's drinking that delicious bourbon. And Lloyd tries to go therapist mode. How are things going, Mr. Torrance? Things could be better, Lloyd. Things could be a whole lot better. I hope it's nothing serious. No, nothing serious. Just a little problem with the old sperm bank upstairs. Dude, and Jack, he's just off the rails at this point, man. He's gone off the rails into the deep end. Off the deep end. He's crazy. Nothing I can't handle though, Lloyd. Thanks. And Lloyd goes, women. Can't live with them. Can't live without them. Words of wisdom, Lloyd. Words of wisdom. And Jack says, just out of nowhere, I haven't laid a hand on him, goddammit, I didn't. I wouldn't touch one hair on his goddamn little head. I love that little son of a bitch. He's talking about his son, because he accidentally hurt him at the beginning of the movie, or like before the beginning of the movie, but it like frames the narrative. And Jack just keeps going. I'd do anything for him. Any thing for him. That damn bitch. And he just like cussing out his wife and kid. Not a good look, Jackie. As long as I live, she'll never let me forget what happened. I did hurt him once, okay? It was an accident. Complete unintentional. It could have happened to anybody. And it was 3 goddamn years ago. The little throwing all my papers all over the floor, and all I tried to do was pull them up. A momentary loss of muscular coordination, I mean. A few extra foot-pounds of energy per second. And after that little rant, his wife shows up. And all the alcohol's gone. And Lloyd is gone. So it just seems like Jack's been talking to himself like a crazy person. Because he is a crazy person. Either he's just a regular crazy person, or he's like a ghostly inspired crazy person. Like the ghost made him crazy. Either way, you don't want to be around that guy. That's honestly a great couple's costume. Is Jack Torrance and why can't I remember? Well, Wendy Torrance. Great costume. Okay, so the final voice that we're going to be doing today is Black Phillip from The Witch. The Witch is a great movie. If you haven't seen it, highly recommend you watch it, because this is kind of spoilers for the movie. But here we go. So Black Phillip is the goat. I'm saying that he's like the goat isn't greatest of all time. He's literally this black goat with big old horns in the movie that like the whole time like the kids of the family, they've been saying that like, oh, Black Phillip, he's like the devil, he's talking to us, and the whole movie you're not sure if these kids are like telling the truth or if like they're just being kids and like their imagination is getting the better of them. So in this scene, Thomasin, who's like the main character, the daughter of the family, she's like her whole family's dead, and she's about to basically sell her soul to the devil. Black Phillip is the devil. And Black Phillip starts talking to her. Yeah. So it starts off with Thomasin in this very like soft, old-timey British accent. She goes, Black Phillip, I conjure thee to speak. Speak as thou dost speak to Jonas and Mercy. Dost thou understand my English tongue? Answer me. And there's just silence, and we're like, oh my god, there is no devil, everyone's crazy. But then, after a little like fake out moment, she's about to turn away, and you hear Black Phillip talk, and he goes, what dost thou want? And the cool thing about Black Phillip's voice is that he's like just whispering the whole time, and there's this cool like double voice effect that I'm gonna recreate and post. And it should sound something like this. I really like Black Phillip's voice because it's a soft, whispered British accent, and all of the consonant sounds are in the back of the throat. Very satisfying to listen to. Like, damn, if the devil sounded that relaxing, I'd be like, you know what? Sign me up. So the scene goes on. Thomasin is astonished. And so Black Phillip says, what dost thou want? Thomasin goes, what canst thou give? Wouldst thou like the taste of butter? A pretty dress? Wouldst thou like to live deliciously? I love that line. The wouldst thou like to live deliciously? It's ooh, it gives me chills. And Thomasin goes, yes. Wouldst thou like to see the world? What will you from me? Dost thou see a book before you? And then a book appears in front of her. It's all sparkly. It literally has like wind chime sound effects. Bling, bling, bling. And she says, aye. Black Phillip goes, remove thy shift. And then Thomasin takes her shift off. And she says, I cannot write my name. I will guide thy hand. And now Black Phillip is like a shadowy figure behind her. No longer a goat man, but now just a regular man. And he like, you know, puts her hand on her shoulder. And that's how the movie ends. It's like she sells her soul to the devil, basically. But yes, I am a big fan of the Black Phillip voice. And honestly, I think it would be pretty cool to do an entire ASMR video with the Black Phillip type vocal modulation. Wouldst thou like to live deliciously? Anyway, Halloween. how exciting. Do you guys have any Halloween plans? Let me know in the comments. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, you know, or even if you just like skipped around, you still watched. So thank you so much. If you liked the video, give it a like and subscribe to see more stuff that comes out along the way. I have more Halloween stuff planned. A little something that involves a costume, so get excited for that. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun doing these videos. So yeah, no, I'm just rambling now. But yeah, okay. Goodbye. See you in the next one. Yummers. Oh no. Oh no. Fuck. No. I'm gonna fucking kill myself. Son of a bitch.